G'day guys. Front shock absorbers on the Outback. It's quite a long spring, so it's eccentric as well. So I've had to use multiple tools here to get the spring right. Now, I wanted to do a step-by-step for you, but I couldn't. Now that washer sits with the cone up underneath, and this has a stop position here, but along the way the washer will get jammed, stuff like that. Now you got to keep reseating the spring down here, okay, and putting it in. Now the way I actually put it in, I've never done this before. I just had a lot of trouble on this car for some reason. This was off here, right? I then put the top mount on and simulated the spring being seated and put this on a few threads, then lifted this up onto its seat, okay, on both the front towers. Now the spring wants to constantly go sideways. Now it's easy to look at it and think, why didn't I put this down here and that? It doesn't work that way. I've actually used another set of tools here as I went. So this one I did very quickly, but I've done them before. I just had a lot of trouble with it. This tool can't handle this spring. So it's quite a spring. It's quite dangerous. But yeah, like there's right and left and all that. But what this is about is that when this is under pressure and it flies out, the spring then loses its shape, right? You're then screwed. So even if you have to put the bolt on without the mount, just the top cover, put the bolt on, readjust your tools to constantly get it right. So as you can see here, these have now moved and that's released, okay? But yeah, that one's really on. Yeah, a lot of trouble because the spring is totally like a spiral, eccentric. But yeah, it's very, very hard to get this on right, okay? You got to be square. So even if you have to put that on with the nut, without that, readjust your tools, get it square, then put it on. But it's very unusual that I lifted the bottom on after, and that's what saved me on the second one. Did it really, really quick. Hope that helps. What was the other video I was making? Oh, I'll do it later. Anyway, that's that. I might as well come over here. You have to pull the brake line through, okay? So that's the ABS. You've got to pull this brake line out and pull it through. So beware with the washers and keep it clean. But yeah, you're gonna have to crimp off that brake line and make sure that's exactly how it goes, right? That's exactly how that brake line has to sit. So it comes, there's no slot there, it comes through there. So you need brake fluid, you need to bleed it. You know, there's also the up here are these marks, which I've marked before. So there's this top one is eccentric and a wheel alignment. You probably know that. So this is a wheel alignment here. Make a note of the position, but there's little lines on here and you can mark it up. So there's a mark on the KYB shocks. KYB make the shocks for my car, actually, for a factory. So there's a line on the shock and a line there. You can also mark them there. But yeah, the best thing to do is mark that line and there's a line above it. Always the top one has the washer, but on this model, you've got the ABS there as well. So yeah, no releasing of the CV joint or anything like that. You might find some heavy corrosion in there. You might want to put some grease. Okay, I've overdone it, but this bearing's going to be repacked as it goes and that'll come out. So mark this as well, obviously. Okay, hope that helps. The guy's coming in 15 minutes for this car. I've just at the last minute replaced the top hose as well. It only goes on one way, but it's really tight. That's non-genuine. Genuine, to get the hoses on Subarus is a nightmare. Like, you might have to warm them up, but here the hose is just a tad just millimetre too short, as it's now pulling the radiator. But that's the way it goes on. You can always give it a twist to get it square. Anyway, hope that helps.